Shalom. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Boris and Lorraine.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, Eric says Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Boris and Lorraine.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's weird.
We're on YouTube.
Okay.
We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook.
I do. This way it records it, nobody sees it. Snip the ends. It's just more time consuming.
This one's very special.
You ready? There's a lot of music tonight. Ms. Marshir is going to sing that, and there's Hush Kavenu as well.
Charity is my special one. I keep all of these. Here, these are my special ones.
I'm turning on our video.
These are my special marbles. I could put them in the same one. I don't.
Everybody have a good week.
Everybody have a good week.
Our co-host is here.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So much for hosting for us.
You can put all the big ones in there.
Is that Eric? Oh my goodness, what a talker.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
He's looking at his rock collection.
Aww. There's nothing like a good
I had a rock collection when I was that age.
Well, I signed them. I signed them up for. I don't know if you've heard of the passports kits, and it's like a monthly subscription of activities, and it goes by age group, but there's different categories. So Evie's getting the international travel ones, and Eric and James are getting the science and sort of sciencey kind of stuff. So this month it was all about volcanoes and rocks and minerals. So there's an activity. They actually had to build a volcano, and then they got a mineral kit to go with it.
Wow,
Very cool.
that's so
So
fun.
every month it's a different thing that they can get, so that Hanukkah lasts all year.
Yeah, I love that. We got
Very clever.
our kids once like sock of the month, right? And every month we got a personal.
Well, I signed up for a different one that was called Days, and it was all the Jewish holidays, and a couple of weeks before the holiday they would send you a kit for that holiday. But
So
unfortunately
lovely.
it's coming out of the States, and they couldn't keep up with the orders to go to Canada, so they got the Hanukkah ones, which included make your own dreidel, make your own Hanukkah, and story, and whatever, but then unfortunately they can't get any more until they get the act together at the actual
Well,
supplier.
that's kind of cool for them that they're doing so well.
Oh, people are starting to come in now. Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Sugar.
Shabbat Shalom. Boy, we're really early today. Holy moly.
There's the max. I don't know why it's so quiet. Can you guys hear us all right?
Shabbat Shalom.
Good, because everybody to us
What about
sounds,
on here?
it's up to the max.
No, on your-
Oh, maybe in
Preferences?
my
Go to your preferences and see.
preferences.
You sound fine to me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's better. Right. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Jenny. Shabbat
Shabbat.
Shalom.
Hi, Jordan. Hi, Paula.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Lorraine. Boris. Who else is here? Jenna and Norm.
Rhonda and Doreen, the dynamic duo.
Shabbat
Bill.
shalom, Nancy.
Ginny.
Oh, Rhonda. Hey, sweetie.
Didn't realize it'd be on so early.
Are you sending me home with food? Oh, that's sweet of you.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi.
We missed your challah.
Просто выполняет свой долг.
Stocking.
Рабочий долг.
Bill
Как
Sugar.
Ah, Bill Sugar.
Шаббат шалом лекулям. Шаббат шалом.
Shabbat shalom, Janice.
Good to see
Шаббат шалом.
We still have 10 minutes before we're going to start tonight.
We're doing the candles.
I'll just check on it.
Come him really early.
10 человек уже.
This Saturday night. Dora Ann's here, just calling her. What do you think Doreen is making? Tell us.
I don't know.
Maybe it's Blintz's.
She's not gonna share it anyways.
It's leftover turkey breast.
Oh,
They had a nice dinner.
lovely.
That's the reason she wraps it up, so she doesn't want to share.
Dora Ann had yummy soup making, I saw.
Checking out
I
everybody's
did.
dinners.
How was the soup, Dora Ann and Evie and James? Oh, they're connecting. They can't hear yet.
Oh, there we go.
Oh. Hey, Eric.
Some chicken in the pot, Dora Ann. Put some chicken in the pot. Stir it till it's nice and hot. Get it ready for Shabbat, What else was in your soup? It looked so delicious. Was there some celery?
Onions and celery.
Oh, I want all about the onions. But put some onions in the pot. Stir it till it's nice and hot. Get it ready for Shabbat, Morley, we're talking about chicken soup that Dora Ann made tonight. She posted it on Facebook and it looked delicious.
It really was delicious.
Wow. Got any left?
Yummy. We're all about the food
All
tonight.
about the leftovers.
Yeah.
Shabbat shalom, Wendy. Shabbat shalom, Morley. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat.
Shalom.
Oliver with us. Very nice. Welcome, everyone.
Are there a whole bunch?
Shabbat shalom, Faith. Welcome.
Rhonda.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mute us?
Ooh, look at all the people. Oh, Fortuna and Bill. I never called. I forgot to call Fortuna and Bill.
Oh, they're here. They're here.
I know. I see them right here. So nice. Oh, Ben and Norm.
And Marley, you can say hi now.
I did before.
And now you can see me.
Oh yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Hi, Eugene.
Oh,
Shabbat shalom. Bum,
yeah.
bim, bim,
Good to see everybody. Yeah.
bim, 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 bum. Shabbat
Shalom.
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 Shabbat
Shabbat. Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat
Hi, Boris.
Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Amy. Shabbat
Hi, Fortuna.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat. Shabbat.
Boris doesn't have his hearing aid.
Shabbat shalom, Shlomit. Welcome.
Goodness, Shlomit, hello. Good Shabbat.
Oh, she.
I just saw your post.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
The service.
Did you like that?
I giggled.
I had to.
Apparently, he's very happy about it too. He thinks he's finding good humor in it.
Yes, yes.
Oh, there's Shlomit.
We're talking about Bernie Sanders memes all over the place. Kittens in his jacket.
To avoid them. I think it's the biggest meme in human history.
My favorite so far is Bernie on a gurney.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
There were a lot of synagogues that had him on their bima.
I think Norm put him on ours.
There's Bradley.
Hey, hello. Our candle lighters are here.
Yeah.
Yay. Do you have your candlestick, Bradley? You are muted. So muted. All right, everyone's coming in.
La 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 la.
Evie and James, I wonder, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. So Evie and James, today we did some sign language for the things that we do on Shabbat. Do you want to help everybody show everybody with me?
Right.
Okay. When the sun goes down, we light the candles. Yeah, good job. And drink the wine or the juice and eat the challah. And, oops, you can't see me. And sing songs and read books. And then we recite all night.
Hey, Elaine. Shabbat shalom. Susan, Val.
Shabbat shalom.
Mara, Shabbat shalom.
Hello, Elaine. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
shalom.
Hi, Elaine.
Hello.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Thank you. You too, Roy.
Got about 3 minutes and we'll get started.
Okay.
la la, ya la 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 la. Bradley, I see your beautiful candles. Very lovely. You're all ready to light Shabbat candles tonight for us. Wonderful. Beautiful.
That's my bad power.
Ooh.
Or what? Are we?
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean, Shabbat Shalom.
How are you?
Good, good. We hear you loud and clear, so that's wonderful.
Oh, there you go. How's everybody?
You're good. Look at all these faces. So fun to see everybody.
Good to see you, Sean.
Right?
You
Yeah.
too. I can't see y'all, but who's on there? How you do this?
Look at the gallery.
Everybody.
Check the gallery.
Oh, look at that.
Looking
Gang's
at the
all here.
gallery.
Oh, holy jumping. Wowzers.
Elaine wishes everyone a healthy and a beautiful week. Thank you, Elaine. There we go. La, 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 ya, la, la. Ya, la, 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 ya, la, 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 la. Ya, la, 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 ya, la, la. Can everyone see our slides for the Shabbat service? Just show me a thumbs up. Ah,
Good.
very good. Thank you, Evie and Steve, with the thumbs up. That's so helpful.
Well, it's 7 o'clock, so why don't we get started? We're going to mute everybody. Not that we don't like to hear your lovely voices. We just want to avoid any background noise. So Shabbat Shalom and welcome. It's
Shabbat
lovely to
Shalom.
see so many of you joining with us. You know, I was really, I think almost all of us were probably engaged this week on Wednesday with the inauguration in Washington, D.C. And I just want to comment on one thing. In President Biden's inauguration speech, towards the end, he quoted Abraham Lincoln, and he talked about being committed to the task with all of his soul, the soul nafshecha. And it was a little allusion to the Via Hafta, where we were commanded to love God the whole, with all of our mind, with all of our body, with all of our might, and with all of our souls. And I thought that was a beautiful allusion, because, you know, it's not often when we consider the sort of spirituality of politics, and yet when we make a commitment, like the commandment asks of us, when we make a commitment with all of our soul, that represents the totality of our being, the depth of who we are. And as Jews, we are indeed commanded to love our God with all of our soul, and that really encompasses just about everything else. And our rabbis teach us that if you can do anything with all of your soul, it's not that you're just doing something, but you're doing everything. So let's take that idea, let's take that allusion to the Torah with us as we enter into Shabbat. So let's let the week that has passed be in the past, and let us take a moment to just center ourselves, to be still, to be silent, and let's take a moment to prepare ourselves to welcome Shabbat.
Ya ba bim bam, ya ba ba bim bam, ya ba bim bam, ya ba ba, ya ba ba ba, ya ba bim bam, ya ba ba bim bam, ya ba ba ba, ya ba 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 bam. Oh ya ba bim bam, ya ba ba bim bam, ya ba bim bam, ya ba ba, ya ba ba ba, ya ba bim bam, ya ba ba bim bam, ya ba ba ba, ya ba 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 bam.
We are so pleased to have Bradley and Sean Davis with us, who are going to lead us in Hadlakat Nerot, in the kindling of the Shabbat lights. Gentlemen, Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to see you. And if you're unmuted, so when you're ready, please read the opening reading.
All right, you hit it.
As the Shabbat candles give light to all behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to us, to all who behold us. As the brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
And when you're ready, light your candles, everyone.
All right, fire it up.
Okay,
Okay, well, I'll do it with you. Okay,
do
cool.
that while I'll do this.
Okay. Say a prayer.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, v'hadlik ner shel
Shabbat.
Amen. And the English?
All right. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows with us mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you.
Wow.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Our choir is going to sing a song for us. Now let's join our voices together. Ki yesh mera Shabbat el yishmereni. Ki yesh mera Shabbat el yishmereni. Oti le'ol meyad beino veni. Oti le'ol meyad beino veni. Hine machshov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine machshov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine machshov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine machshov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine machshov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. We have warmed up our souls together. I think it's time to welcome the Sabbath Queen into all of our homes tonight, all of our sacred dwellings. Let's do that. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi מחשבה תהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה תנה שבת תקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה תנה שבת תקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורף ומי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה תנה שבת תקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה תנה שבת תקבלה. Please, if you're able to at home, please rise. בואי ושלום העוטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצוחנה תוך המוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה תנה שבת תקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה תנה שבת תקבלה. מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר עשתך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון בבינור מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשם העליון ולזמר לשם העליון כי שימחתני אדוני בפועל לך 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 במעשה ידיך ארוני מה גדלו מעשה האדוני מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך לזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשם העליון ולזמר לשם העליון.
Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai, how great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm, they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong. If you are able, we invite you to please rise as we continue with the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך ירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיים יומכם וחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמירה במבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה לעילם עם כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, u'vitvuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'misader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem, b'rakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, u'mavdil ben yom u'vein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo. Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Amariv Aravim Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Now, I'd like to invite Bradley Davis to lead us in the Shema and the Ve'ahavta. Bradley, if you would unmute yourself, please.
Hi. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta.
Okay, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uv'shochtecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'chayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Emet, all this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. And when your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously.
Adonai et Yaakov, ugelo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Let there be love and understanding among us.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי Shabbat vayinafash. If you're here with us for the first time, this is where we take a deep breath and sigh out the week that was. Shabbat vayinafash. And this is where we breathe in the wonderful rest to come this Shabbat. Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם.
We're going to continue now with the tefillah. Again, we invite you please to rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftar, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot ve'imachot, Umevi Geula livnei bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah Rav dechoshia, Moshiv haruach morid hakashem. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofe cholim, o matir asorim, o mekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevorot, Umidam elach, melech memim mechaye o matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh u'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yochalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu bi'amcha Yisrael, tfilatam b'ahavat tekabel, u'tihil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion.
Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato leTzion.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, nefesh, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks.
Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha u'lecha na'el lechodot. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tahasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tahasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lecha shalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lecha shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tahasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tahasim le'olam. V'tov beinecha levorei et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tahasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tahasim le'olam. Tahasim le'olam. Baruch atah Adonai hamborech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
My friends, let us take a few moments now for silent personal meditation.
יהיו לרצון עם רפי בהגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי.
We're going to offer our prayer this evening for healing. And if you have names of people who could benefit from God's power of healing that are not already on our list, please just add them to the chat box and we will include them in our prayers this evening. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yevrechet cholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill at this time. And this evening we pray for Lawrence Quitko, Joy Wolfson, Mary Salomon, Miriam Dove, Paul Burt, Herb Goldstein, Lenore Sorger, Mary Bloom DeVore, Carm Perry, Ellen Jaffe, Emily Appel, Harry Hotz, Doris Popper, Lucy Nisker, Donald Hill, Peter Gregono, Ed Waldis, Rhea Cohen, Philip Cohen, Patricia Proctor, Paula Weintraub, Martin Wedham, Gord Brandis, Sean Logan, Karen Salomanoch, Richard Ackerman, Bernard Glass, Francesco Catari, Allison Sampson, David Sampson, Michael Ravkin, Frida Ravkina, Norma West Linder, Harold Rosenzweig, Stephen Wenzowski, Joanne Mintz, Fermet Grossman, Michael Levine, Pearl Viner, Leslie Viner, Clara Bloomberg, and Kaylee Sapir. Norm, do we have other names to be read this evening?
We do. We have Jack Mutton, Bill King and Jesse, John Padden, Murray, Neil, Karen, Paul Gaffey, Hudson Ray, Sandra Learn, Kathy Little, Alan Arnold, Brianne Wheaton, Clarice Mooney, Steve Parton, Janice LeBeau, Susan Feldberg, Ruthie Horwood, Merle Levine, and Catherine Lippitz.
Thank you, Norm. And of course, we include all those who have been infected with COVID-19. Source of healing, cast the light of health and well-being on those who have been exposed to coronavirus, those who have contracted the disease, and those, God forbid, who contract the disease in the future. Bless them, protect them, and bring them speedily to full recovery. Bless all who are ill with healing of body, healing of soul, and healing of spirit. Baruch atah Adonai, Makor Chaim. Blessed are you, Adonai, the source of life.
Yisheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Yisheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, and Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Oh, man. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome. I've just realized, looking at all the different names and faces on the screen, that we actually have people from 4 different provinces that are worshiping with us together this evening, which is pretty remarkable. I think that's one of the benefits of online synagogue life, is that we can draw from a much greater geographic area. So I want to welcome everybody, particularly those of you who are joining with us from outside of Ontario. I wanted to begin this evening with a story, might be a story that some of you have heard before. It's one of my favorites. It's about a small town who had a member of the community who had been very blessed in his lifetime and had amassed a certain amount of wealth. And he was at that point in his life where he wanted to start dispersing those blessings to help other people. And he had a particular project that he wanted to support. He wanted to build for the community a new synagogue. They had a synagogue, but it was very old. It was sort of dreary, and it didn't really inspire people who came there to worship. And it certainly didn't inspire a sense of the greater glory of God. So his gift to the community was that he was going to build them a brand new, beautiful synagogue building. And he oversaw the project himself, and he kept everything rather secretive. And then finally, when the new synagogue was complete and ready to welcome people in, he invited everybody to come just before sunset for a special dedication ceremony and a tour of the beautiful new synagogue. And indeed, when people came in and they looked around, it just took their breath away. The place was exquisite, fine woodwork and soaring columns, and the bima was made out of fine stones, and the ark was just luminous. You couldn't take your eyes off of it. And people just looked around. It was an incredible sense of awe. And they were so grateful that they had been gifted with this beautiful new, truly inspiring synagogue in which they could worship together as a community. But as the sun began to set, it got darker and darker and darker in the synagogue. And finally, somebody said, well, we should turn on the lights. Where's the light switch? And they all started looking around as it was getting darker and darker, and they couldn't find a light switch. They thought maybe it still had gas lights, but they couldn't find any lanterns anywhere. And finally, they went to the patron, the man who had built this exquisite synagogue for them, and said, excuse us, but with all respect, we think you forgot something. I don't think so. I oversaw this project myself personally, and everything is exactly as I had planned it. And they said, but there's no lights. And he went, oh, he said, I'm sorry, I forgot. Let me take care of that right now. And he went outside, and he came back in with a bunch of lanterns. And he gave one to each of the members of the community that were there in the synagogue. And one by one, they started to light the lanterns. And sure enough, with just in a few moments, the synagogue was all alight again, and it was glowing from the light of the lanterns. And people thought this was just so beautiful, but still it didn't make any sense that each person had to have their own lantern in order to read their prayer books or to see what was going on the bima. And they said, this is lovely, but why? Why didn't you just install a light system that would light up the whole building? And he goes, well, you have to understand, these lanterns, each one is a gift for you. And when you leave here today, I want you to take it home. But when you come back to the synagogue, when you come back to pray, or when you come back to study, or when you come back to celebrate the holy days and the milestones in your life, I want you each to bring your own lantern back with you. And somebody said, but, if not everybody's here, we may not have that much light. And if there's only a few people here, it'll be dark. And so we won't be able to do the things that we do as Jews at the synagogue. And the patron said, that's the point. It's going to take everybody to be together, because it's not the synagogue that should be filled with light. You are the light. You are the ones that bring the light into the synagogue. And every time even one person is away, that light is going to be diminished. And if too many people stay away, then it will get darker and darker until the synagogue will become just black, and then it will be meaningless, and then it will cease to be. It is not about the synagogue building. That can stand in darkness, but it is the community that brings the light into the darkness. I love that story. And I can tell you, if we put that into practice personally, we'd probably save a ton of money at the temple on our electrical bills. But that obviously isn't the point. In our parasha this week, in Parashat Bo, we have the end of the story of the 10 plagues. We have the last 3 plagues. And one of the things that bound these 3 final plagues together was that each of them produced a kind of darkness. The 8th plague is the plague of locusts, but it's not just about vermin that are coming in to consume all of the vegetation. There were so many locusts that the sky became black and there was no light for people to see. And then on the 9th day, the plague itself was darkness. But this isn't just a nighttime that sort of bled into the daytime. This was a darkness that the Torah describes itself as being so thick that you could touch it. Can you imagine that? A darkness that you can feel enveloped around you. And we're told that that darkness, that thick, visceral darkness, descended upon the Egyptians. But in the Jewish homes, there was still light. And in fact, Rashi, our great commentator, goes on to tell us that, in fact, the darkness, the plague of the darkness, wasn't just to punish or to, make an impression on the Egyptians, but there was a purpose for the darkness for the Jews as well, because we're told that it was during this night of darkness that any Jews who were not a part of the community, any who were away from their Jewish homes and their Jewish families, who had essentially accepted themselves into Egyptian society, they remained in darkness as well. And this was God's opportunity to single out those Jews who would not merit making their way out of Egypt as part of the Exodus. But it was in the darkness that God dealt with us individually, not publicly. And then, of course, that darkness continued to the final night, the death of the firstborn, when Israel was finally allowed to leave slavery and make their way to freedom. Darkness in our tradition is seen as not something in of itself, but it is the absence of light. And light in our tradition is a symbol of the divine. When we have divinity, when we have holiness, when we have godliness in our lives, we have light. And when those things are missing, we are left in darkness. And that darkness can descend upon us, it can consume us, and it can be felt around us. There's a wonderful other midrash about Adam and the week of creation. And when you think about it, the first night that Adam experienced after he was created on the 6th day was the evening, the night of the 6th day, which was Erev Shabbat, this time. And for this original human being to experience for the first time the light turning into darkness. He was filled with despair and filled with fear and totally consumed by the idea that the light may not come back. But the next morning, the light did return, and that was the light of the day of Shabbat. And as Shabbat came to its end, God gifted Adam with two things. One, a set of flints so he could make a spark, make a fire, and a candle that he could light that would carry him into the darkness, but still be accompanied by a measure of light. And when he was given these gifts and he made the first fire and he made the first flame, Adam gave thanks to his creator and praised God with the words, Borei me'orei ha'esh, God who is the creator of fire. And we say those same words at that same time, because what God gave to Adam was the very first Havdalah set, the very first Havdalah candle, which we light to mark the end of Shabbat, and we do so accompanied by those words, Borei me'orei ha'esh, praised is God who is the creator of fire. But you know what, my friends? We are all creators of fire. We each have the power to bring lightness into the dark and to maintain the lightness within our lives through our actions and through our spirit and through our connections with other people. We create light. And even in the most darkest of times, and I think we all agree that we're living through a pretty dark period right now, it is this ability for us to remain connected which brings light not only into our own lives, but allows us to share light with everybody who is around us. And so may the miracle of that light on those darkest of days in Egypt, may that miracle of light be a blessing upon all of us as well. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shabbat Shalom.
Peace, peace will come. Let it begin with me. We need peace. Let it begin with me. Oh, my own life, it's all I can hope to control. Oh, let my life be lived for the good of my soul. Let it bring peace, sweet peace. Peace will come. Let it begin with me.
We're going to conclude our service this evening now with the Elenu. And again, if you're able, we invite you to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום וחשבות אל לבבך. Elohim Bashamayim Mima'al Ve'aretz Mitachat Enod Ne'emar V'chaya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to all of humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. At this time, we remember John Stein, Myra Simon, Ann Aronson, Sam Horwood, Jean Sandler, Harold Rosenzweig, and Bella Betito, all of whom passed away during the last month during Shloshim. And to the mourners who are worshiping with us here this evening, we say to you the traditional words of consolation, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem, Toshari Avletzion V'Yushalayim, may God comfort you amongst all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. And we also remember those whose yahrzeit occurred during this past week, Ann Michaels, Anna Frager, Gilda Hyla Gunn, Hans Posner, Helen Biro, Isaac Goldberg, Jack Dubovsky, Jane Chute, Manny Furman, Margaret Wise, Mildred Fleischer, Molly Eisenberg, Nathan Levy, Sam Strom, Solomon B. Wright, and Yerucham Ben Aharon Goldstein. Zecher Tzadich Levracha, may the memories of the righteous be for all of us as an abiding blessing, as we remember them and we praise God with the words of the Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabba, v'yalma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba mevrach le'olam u'mei almaya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh, v'yit adar v'yit aleh v'yit alal shmei t'kudisha b'rechu, le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba mishemaya, l'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. The source of peace, send peace to all those who mourn and comfort to all those who are bereaved among us. And we say together, amen. Please be seated. Did you want to do this now?
Just keep going out.
What happened? Oh. Somebody's been messing with our slides. We would now like to invite Mr. Roy Paulington to share with us some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Tomorrow morning, our celebration of Shabbat continues online with Shabbat morning songs and prayers and Torah talk beginning at 10:30 a.m. right here on Zoom. Details about how to log in for these and all of our services and programs can be found, as always, on our temple website. With the pandemic taking its toll in our Hamilton community, Rabbi Cohen and Cantor Baruch are offering a weekly online healing service. Please join us in prayer, song, and meditation every Monday evening at 6 p.m. May all be blessed with health and a speedy healing. Also on Monday evenings at 7 p.m., join with Rabbi Cohen for an online study of biblical era wisdom literature. Two of the finest examples of Hebrew wisdom literature are Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, and the Wisdom of Ben Sirah, the first of which was included in the Hebrew Bible, and the second of which was denied a place in the biblical canon. In this course, we will explore some of the distinct teachings of each of these unique books and how they can speak to us today. All texts will be available online. Each year, when we reach the Parshat Beshalach, we mark Shabbat Shirah, the Sabbath of Song. This is when Cantor Baruch crafts a special service to share learning and inspiration around Jewish music. This year marks the 10th yahrzeit of the incredible Jewish composer and musician Debbie Friedman, who changed the face of American Jewish music forever and gave us such a wealth of melodies. Be sure to join us next Friday, January 29th at 7 p.m. for this year's very special Shabbat Shirah service featuring the music of Debbie Friedman. And if you are a Temple Anshe Sholem member, we invite you to review and update your yahrzeit records with us. Please log into your Shul Cloud account and check to make sure all of your information, including yahrzeit commemorations, is accurate and up to date. And if you have not previously logged into Shul Cloud, please contact Brenda in our temple office for assistance. And thank you to Sean and Bradley Davis for participating in tonight's service. And thank you again to Norm Eby for being our Zoom host for this evening's service. And finally, if you are marking a significant occasion or want to remember or honor someone special, please consider sponsoring an online service. Again, contact Brenda in the temple office for details. Take care, stay healthy. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Doran, did you want to share some about your program tomorrow night? We've got some young people online with us.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we have our family service at 10 a.m. and the information is on the website as well. And our social event, Havdalah, with hot chocolate and cookies, where you bake your own cookies, bring your own hot chocolate, and join us for Havdalah. And then we have some stories and games for younger kids. And our youth group advisor, Rebecca Sampson, is going to be doing a fun Cahoots trivia with our junior youth group aged kids. So that's tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Doran.
Thank you
and
so
thank
much.
you to everybody who participated this evening. And we're going to go back and conclude with.
No, we're not doing
We're
that.
not doing that?
No,
Well,
we're
why
not.
is it in there then?
I don't know.
I am terribly confused. I'm sorry. So this is time now to fill your cups, and we will commence with the Kiddush.
Does everybody have their wine handy? Oh, it's nice to see all those glasses. Let's do this together then. Vayahir avihi boker yom hashishi, vayachulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz v'chol tzava'am, vayachol Elohim biyom hashvi'i melakto asher asa, vayishbot biyom hashvi'i mikol melakto asher asa, vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto, ki vo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehillah v'mikrayei kodesh zecher letziot mitzrayim ki vanu macharta ve'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inhaltanu Baruch Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Lorraine. L'chaim,
L'chaim.
everyone.
And Bradley, we're going to come back to you one more time to lead us in Motzi. Where did you go, Bradley?
He's on the second screen.
There
There he is. Sean and Bradley.
Do you have some challah?
We do.
All right.
Oh, more
Where's
like
our challah from, Dad?
very nice.
Where's our challah from?
Just a friend of mine. All right.
All right.
It sounds legit.
Sorry, technical issues. Please stand by.
Okay, chalah's coming.
Chalah's coming. Oh, lovely.
Very nice.
All right.
Okay,
Hit
so
it, Bradley.
Oh, you lost your screen. Okay, when you're ready, lead us in the blessing.
Hit it, buddy.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi echem min aretz.
Amen. B'tei Avon.
B'tei Avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please feel free
You too.
to unmute
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Take
shalom.
care.
Shabbat
Bye.
Shabbat
Shalom,
shalom.
everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom.
God willing.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Thanks again.
Oh, Marley, that was.
Shabbat shalom.
Rhonda Chalaban.
good.
Shabbat shalom until tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, there's.
Okay.
Hi, Doreen.
Shalom.
Shabbos, Doreen.
Hello.